This is the book Beat Depression by David Hinds from the year 2001. Chapter 26. Depression in Terminal Illness. Can I see another's woe and not be in sorrow too? Can I see another's grief and not seek for kind relief? William Blake, 1757 to 1827, Songs of Innocence. The bottom line. Some terminal patients defy their doctor's prognosis and refuse to die as predicted. They get better. Why do some patients recover from critical conditions when the doctors believe there is no hope of recovery? What do survivors do that makes the difference between life and death? Bernie Siegel, the American physician and author of the book Love, Medicine and Miracles, Random House Inc., 1986, observed that many patients who were ultimately successful in recovering from advanced stages of cancer had been described by doctors and nursing staff as difficult patients. He says that whenever he consults on a case, he is encouraged to see in a patient's medical notes entries such as uncooperative, questions why tests are ordered, demands to be informed about test results, and insists on explanations about treatments. Siegel, as a result of his work with cancer patients, is convinced that terminal patients who get better instead of dying react to their prognosis as a wake-up call to their very existence. They make far-reaching changes in how they think, act, talk and feel, reforming their eating and social habits and spending every waking hour masterminding their own recovery. Siegel believes that there are 3 categories of terminal patients. He estimates that around 15 to 20% at some level of consciousness wish to die and will probably do so no matter how excellent their treatment. About 60 to 70% passively cooperate with their doctors in every respect and will do whatever they were told to do, including dying when predicted, if that is the doctor's prognosis. Around 50 to 20% are exceptional patients. They reject the probability of becoming a statistic and refuse to be discouraged by the odds against survival. On the day of the UK launch of my first health book, After Stroke, I appeared on the ITV network programme This Morning with Richard and Judy. In the live television phone-in that followed, our discussion on the book and serious illness, a woman who had been told by doctors 7 years previously that she had a life expectancy of 2 weeks due to cancer, which had been deemed inoperable, phoned in to tell us that she was very much alive and kicking. The show's joint host, Richard Madeley, in his own inimitable style, asked her, "Why are you not dead? How come the Grim Reaper didn't get you?" It transpired that her story had a lot in common with the views of many leading doctors and psychologists. Survivors are not easy patients. She had been defiant, angry, indignant, and not at all ready to die. By her own admission, she was not an easy patient and refused to accept the prognosis of imminent death. She used her anger, which sets off the stress hormones, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol, arousing tension in the body, to fuel her desperate quest to find a way, any way, of cheating death. She resorted to praying, healthy eating, positive thinking, and self-talk, convincing her mind, body and soul that she really was defeating her cancer, plus just about anything else that she could think of. Even the most skeptical of readers must concede that something must have worked, because she is still here with us now, fit and well and cancer-free. In essence, she showed herself to be willing to adopt and utilize any possible action or reaction to aid her recovery. She expected to be able to influence events concerning her own body in a way that would lead to a satisfactory outcome, and she was proved right. I can relate to her recovery. In 1995, after 2 strokes and a subclavian bypass operation, I remember staring up at the ceiling from my hospital bed, partly paralysed and unable to comprehend the words of a newspaper, thinking, "Is this me? Yes, it is, but I'll be back." I promised myself there and then that I would reclaim every single one of my faculties and then write a book based on my experiences. It took me many years, but I made good on all aspects of that promise. Sir Peter Morris, Nuffield Professor of Surgery at the University of Oxford, carried out my operation and was generous enough to write a foreword to the book in which he quoted an entry made in my medical records by nursing staff. He is extremely angry about his condition and shows this in his relationships with his carers. These difficult patients question why alternative treatments are not being offered, and they insist that their doctor try something different. They are patients with an attitude fueled by the unshakable will to get well. They hold the view that although they need the expertise and care of their doctor, they are very much in charge of themselves, and this is not necessarily an attitude that all doctors fully understand or are equipped to deal with. At this point, we need to make an important distinction between the terminally ill and the seriously ill patient. The information in this chapter is intended primarily for the terminally ill patient who may feel defeated and depressed, but who really wants to live. The advice I would offer to any seriously ill but not terminally ill patient would be very different. I would stress the need to relax, keep calm, and to take things easy, cooperating fully with the medical team in order to secure the best possible recovery available to them. There are tens of thousands of people alive and kicking and enjoying their lives today who were not expected to live or to make a 100% recovery. Because of limited space in this chapter, you have read about only 2. If, despite all, you still possess the will to live, why not give recovery all you've got and then some? It seems to me that you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Don't worry about being a less than perfect patient. Doctors and nursing staff harbour a secret admiration for survivors, and so do I. Is it possible for doctors to be right on every occasion when they predict life or death? Sometimes the terminally ill patient survives. Can you steel yourselves to believe that the doctor could be wrong in your case and fight to live?